Olympian, also swims for Trojan Swim Club. We'll start it off with I think, a pretty good question. So, Rebecca, from 2008 to now, how have you developed as a swimmer?
Well, I guess taking it from being a college swimmer when I was here in 2008 with USC, just finished my junior year, so it was a lot more of a structured routine for me. The whole team did their workouts together in and out of the water. So I think the biggest difference now is that I do a lot of the out of the water stuff on my own. So I pick my favorites and I do the Pilates and yoga, things that I enjoy. Kind of skip on the weight room because that's not something I enjoy, and kind of have figured out what works best for me, and I think that level of responsibility for my own swimming has led me to where I am today.
All right, we'll open the floor. Same thing as every other press conference. State your name and your outlet, and Rebecca will hopefully answer your question. Who's first? Come on. We'll go with Angela.
Thank you. I do try and let the locals go first, but Australia's 7 Network, Angela Cox, I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on Leisel Jones and how she's faring and whether you think she's much competition in the pool for you for London.
Absolutely, yeah. I've always enjoyed racing with Leisel ever since 2008 and the few years before. I think the number of times we've raced are very small, maybe 5 or 6 meets total, which, that's not that much. So I always look forward to it. She's great to have, she's a good friend and a good person behind the blocks also. It's not always about the rivalry, but it's always good to race her. I think she'll do great. She's one that you can never count out. So I'm not really one that follows swimming very closely. So I don't know, exactly where she's going to be, but I know that she's always going to be there.
Go Karen up front.
Karen Kraus, New York Times. Rebecca, you're one of the few U.S. stars who sticks to one stroke. Do you ever get bored with the breaststroke, and why don't you branch out into at least the IMs or, some freestyle?
If I would, I could. If I could, I would. I used to do IM. I did a lot of it in college and before. And I do enjoy it, but I haven't been able to do as well in it as I can in breaststroke. And I don't train all breaststroke, which is what keeps away the boredom with it. So, I'll do the 200 IM every now and then just to remind myself how much better breaststroke is for me. But yeah, stick to what you're good at, and I do enjoy it. I feel like I'm still always working with it and improving it. It's never the same race twice.
Paul?
Hi, Rebecca. Paul Newberry from Associated Press. How is it different this time around with being the favorite and everybody pretty much already has penciled you in on the Olympic team, and it's more a question about is she going to sweep the breaststroke goals than is she going to make the team? Obviously that's a lot different than 2008 was for you.
It is a lot different. It takes a lot to get used to. Everyone always talking about London when I'm always like, hold on, there's a little step before that in Omaha. So it is a lot different. There's a lot more daily focus on, making the team, and as opposed to 2008 when I was kind of just wrapped up in the whole experience of training and not necessarily so focused on the Olympics. I guess it just puts a lot of pressure, and I've had to learn how to handle that, how to not let that get to me. And, a lot of that means not reading a lot about what's going on and kind of keeping to myself as far as, my training and keeping my inner self strong.
Stefano Arcobelli, La Gazzetta dello Sport. You train together with Efimova and Hardy. How you feel? Tell me something about this experience to train with the rivals.
Yeah, it's good. It's a pretty unique experience where you can say that you train with the top, probably the person I would pick as the top competitor in both the 100 and the 200. So both of my events I train with my top competitors, which, some days it can be challenging, but for the most part, it's great to have both of those girls there. And I think for Jessica and I, we've been training at the same place for 4 or 5 years, so we've really learned how to, use each other's strengths, and if you are not feeling it that day, kind of separate each other. But I think it's really great to have that person always pushing you, and it doesn't give you a chance to ignore what's going on because you see that person every day. And they're both great racers, and honestly, I can't say that I'm better than either of them, and I know they both work really, really hard. So I guess it adds a level of comfort when you're behind the blocks with somebody that you know so well. And of course, I want Jessica and I both to make it in the 100 and to be racing Yulia in London. So I want what's good for them too.
Bonnie?
Hi, Rebecca Bonnie Ford from ESPN.com. Keeping the inner self strong is a challenge for everybody, but more so for elite athletes. How do you do it? Is there yoga, meditation, reading, totally getting away? And has that changed over the years as you've gone from an unknown to an Olympic champion?
Definitely all the things you said. I like to separate myself from the pool when I don't need to be there. I feel strong about all the things I do outside the pool, whether it is the yoga or dry land work that I'm doing, or if it's just relaxing, walking with my dog, going to the beach. All that stuff I do to get away from the pool sometimes, and I guess to just know that I'm going down the right path, and I give myself, I guess, a lot of time to think about if something doesn't feel right, how to fix it. And I guess over the years I've just learned how to tune it in a little bit better. Like I said before, when somebody's always telling you where to be at what time and you have class and all that, there's not much time to discover what you need. So I guess the years since college have really been a good time for me to sit down and make sure that I'm doing what's best for me.
Right up front.
Dirk Chatwin with the Omaha World Herald. I realize this may be a bigger issue for the men's swimmers, but 4 years ago, all the talk was about swimsuits, and now it's not so much. What's your assessment of that issue and where we are now compared to where we were 4 years ago?
Well, I think we're in a really good place right now. From my perspective, has always been that it's the swimmers racing, not the swimsuits, and it was definitely a very interesting year in 2008, 2009 when the whole world was watching the swimsuits. So I think that was fun. Closed the book and we moved on, and I really like where we are right now. I love the suit I'm racing in, which is the Arena, and I think this year finally we'll have a good chance to get closer to those world records that were set with those fancy suits.
During this season, you arrived close to world record many times. For you, the trials is a big opportunity before Olympic Games, or you not look at the world record now?
I never really focus on those records. To me, that's not the big picture. So, I think I have as good a shot as any of the times I've raced in the past 4 years to get closer to my record, my best time, which was set in 2008. So that's really all that I'm looking for. It's been 4 years since then, and I'm not saying that I can't do it, but that's not what my focus is here. My focus is to make the team, and usually for me, the less I focus on the specific times, the better I'm able to do. So that's where I need to be looking.
Anyone else? Karen, you want to be the caboose?
What is it like to go 4 years without bettering your time?
Well, luckily, I've had the 100, which I've been bettering my time in at that. So I'm sure if I didn't have that, it would be very frustrating. But, you know, those times when it's the end of the season, I remember the Pan Pacs in 2010, when I think it was a 220, and it's like, I've come so far, and, you know, I'm still just a few tenths off. And I would be more than happy if I could get close to that, to my time from Beijing, but if I don't, not too much you can do about it.
Thanks a lot, Rebecca.
All right, thank you.
Any water for the